Yeah, Makaveli, the Dog Illuminati, the 7-Day Theory. This album right here caused the paradigm shift. This is the album that cracked the atoms open. This album right here was like the initiation for me to get into the game. So Tupac died on Friday the 13th, September 1996. It was on Friday the 13th. Crazy. Crazy. Never seen nothing like it. But I remember like about 2 weeks later, it was announced that Tupac had an album dropping in November called Makaveli. So I was excited about that. Like, cool, we get another Tupac album, even though he's not here. Even with that, it was kind of, we really didn't know for sure because there was a lot of rumors going around that Tupac faked his death. That's why they called this album Makaveli. So the album was due to be released November the 5th, 1996. So I went and got the tape. Well, I got the tape. Then I went out and got the CD. And then years later, I had to cop this vinyl. But yeah, I bought the tape. And I studied that tape from beginning to end. Like, I had to study, who is this Makaveli guy? Who is this Makaveli guy Tupac is talking about in his interviews? Who is this Makaveli guy that Tupac keep talking about in his rhymes? Like, he be bringing up this guy Makaveli a lot. So I ended up going to where I go. I went to Fairlane. And I bought Machiavelli, the Prince, this right here. Nicola Machiavelli, the Prince. Let me tell y'all about this book. I had Michael Franzese tell me, he told me this personally. This is about 3 years ago. I met him. The guy that was with the mob, the retired guy from the mob. He was like, this book right here, Machiavelli, this book is like the Bible with the mob. Now, in New York City, there's 5 families. Well, 5, mob families. I think you got like the Colombo, Gambino. There's like 3 others, But this is the Bible right here with the mob, this Machiavelli book. This book is pretty much like the precursor to the 48 Laws of Power. So I read this book in high school. I was a junior. I was a junior in high school. So let me tell you all about this book. If you understand this book, you understand America. Once I understood this book, I understood the psychology of America. I had to read this book to really understand the psychology of America. But once I understood this book, I was able to understand the enemy. I was able to understand the game. I was able to know how to play the game, how to learn the game. There's a difference between what's right and just what is. It's a lot of things that people should be doing, just more, be morally correct, be politically correct, versus to people that just doing things just to, this is a game. And you got to separate the two. This right here just tell you how it is. When you playing chess against the devil is going to pull all kind of stops. Like, he going to try to, deception is a part of the game. So when I read this book, it just gave a different view, just a different alternative angle when I started listening, to this Makaveli album. So when I was listening to the album, not only did I study, Makaveli, but I noticed he changed the name from Machiavelli to Makaveli. Then, I was studying, the whole crucifixion thing. And then even like his group, the Outlaws, I noticed like, all these guys was named after like foreign dictators and tyrants, Idi Amin, Napoleon, Gaddafi, Castro, all these guys. So I just started studying all these members, like their names, like their alias. I had to, I studied all of it. So once I started doing that, then like, okay, now I gotta, get into this. It's like encyclopedia. I hit my homeboy up, the T, like, man, let's check out, this this Makaveli thing. Like, it's a lot to it. And this is 1997 at this point. As a matter of fact, it was June 1997. It was on a Sunday. And the reason I remember because it was the first game of the NBA Finals, 1997, the Chicago Bulls versus the Utah Jazz. And Jordan hit the game-winning shot on Byron Russell in game one. And the Bulls went up 1-0 in the finals. So he was doing research when that was going on. But as I'm doing research in these encyclopedias, I'm seeing a whole lot of other things. I'm seeing all these Egyptian deities, Iris, Isis, Ra. I was just seeing all these different Marduk. I was seeing all these different Egyptian deities. So I started studying that. I started studying, this whole Egyptian thing. And then while I was doing that, I was coming across some other things, like all these gangsters. Like the encyclopedia had all this stuff, like, man, Al Capone, Lucky Luciano, all these different guys. So I started studying like the mob, and just one thing led to another. And the rest is history. I mean, it led me to where I'm at today. But it all started from studying this album right here. This album was the starter. It was the generator that got everything started. As far as me doing research on my own, like something that I wanted to do. Like it was a moment of awakening, for myself. So yeah, it started with this album right here. Yeah, Makaveli. Like I got it sitting in my front. When you first walk in my house, you'll see it sitting in the stand. It's like a conversation piece. People were like, you got that Makaveli right there. Like, yeah. So it's like a conversation piece, But this album is what got me started. Like this is the album that, what I'm saying, quote unquote, woke. This is the album that woke me up, but yeah, this is my personal favorite album right here. This Makaveli album, The Don Killuminati, The 7 Day Theory.